tightly clasped hand and take it in her own, but ignored her suggestion to let the morning blasting be. The boat wouldn't be going out until the sea settled, he told her, and it wouldn't be right to leave the work for others. It was the covering of the earth that he longed for. Out there in the wide open country he felt exposed. So he had gone down into the hole and shoveled dirt furiously, his heart pounding from the labour and from the not knowing. Sweat marked the high planes of his cheekbones, and he was grateful for the solitude afforded by the dark, narrow tunnel. Onni made the drill holes in which he would lay the dynamite, each one the length of a body. When it was time to blast the new section of the lead mine, he welcomed the rumble of dynamite in his bones. His body trembled with each explosion, and that helped a little. The next day, Onni drove from Northampton to Geraldton. He could scarcely focus on the road ahead, nor on the countryside around him. He would have followed the red dirt track leading out of the mine site into yellow wheat country. He would have passed by several river red gums, bent over the Chapman, before rattling his way into town and down to the port. Nalle Saari lost at sea. Contact brother. The words returned to him over and over, but he could not settle on them. They didn't sound like any language he knew. "Good luck, mate," a man from the Fishermen's Co-op said, shaking his hand with a firmer grip than usual. "Hope you find him." Onni had looked at him with his lake-water eyes, and the man could not hold his gaze. Onni did not want his pity. Besides, it wasn't over yet, was it? He refused to count the hours. He didn't want to know how long his brother had been out there. It was possible he had been swept a long way in a squall and even now was navigating his way back to the islands, laughing at his good fortune. It was possible. The search party was made up of 6 men, including Onni. The others were all Nalle's good mates. Onni knew them a little from his few brief visits to the islands, and from the stories Nalle would tell him when they came together during the off-season. Sulo, Esko, Tol Tommi, Risto, and Latvian Igor. They'd come out to the islands almost 10 years back, around 1950, on hearing that a kind of gold could be found in the waters here. Come with a map and compass and little else. In Sulo's cray boat, they now circled the perimeter of Disappearing Island with Onni, keeping an eye out for the strewn debris of a boat and, far less likely, a man clinging to it. Gulls cawed, and the stale odour of dead fish emanating from the vessel entered his nostrils. Onni scanned the water, willing Nalle to turn up for some miracle to come to pass. "Why do you call it disappearing, then?" Onni asked, head down. After a moment, Sulo's gruff voice. "Comes and goes, this island, with the movement of the water." So it was not some gyre that swallowed lone fishermen. The men were quiet, and Onni wondered if they too were thinking about water, how it could shift great swathes of sand. A melancholy feeling settled down in the boat until the man with one eye passed wind and someone laughed. For Onni, time became elastic, the hours warping, bending, with no beginning and no end. He tried not to blink lest he missed something. A mere shadow below the water. Some remnant of Nalle's boat. His equipment. A cray pot. Anything at all. Evidence that he had been here, that he existed. The water, glistening in the sunlight, reflected nothing but calmness. Onni couldn't equate this blissful aquamarine with the sort of violence that might drown a man. Upwind from him, Sulo began to chant under his breath. A half-song, half-poem, his voice low and rumbling. At first, Onni clung to an irrational hope. Was this some siren call to bring his brother back? Then the song took shape in his memory like a figure moving into the light. The rhythm was old, of pagan origin. The Kalevala. The story of the forging of the fabled Sampo. All the men knew the folk tale, but they didn't have the words or the meter.